What's up, guys, and welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today we're gonna do a little, part swapping, little figure fix-up with these John Cena figures. I know a lot of people have already done this online, but I've been just waiting to get these figures in hand so I could do it myself. These are the farewell tour John Cena Walmart exclusives that I had pre-ordered, but Walmart.com canceled. But I eventually found the new little Spark Your Collection little collector spot in a Walmart 40 minutes away from my house, and finally got these guys. So today we're gonna do some torso cracking to do some part swapping, because even though this is like a really cool idea with the "you can't see me" invisible clear John Cena, if you look at the box art right here, it's like the hat and the shirt, the armbands, like his clothing is not invisible. And with this John Cena, they made the armbands. Oh, I knocked his hat off. They made the hat, shoes, the jorts, everything clear. So what we're gonna do today, and you can do this with pretty much any John Cena figure. You don't have to, well, any of the shorter jeans John Cena. You don't have to use this farewell tour John Cena. I just want to use it since he's wearing the red shirt, and I think the red will look the best with this. But basically, any shorts John Cena, what you're going to need to do, you're going to need to crack a torso. And I'm actually not going to crack this guy's torso. We're just going to use the clothing off of him. I already have a pair of legs ready to go. I believe these came off of the Mario Super Cena, the Super Mario Cena. And then you're gonna need, of course, some shoes instead of the clear shoes. And basically, everything that's clear is gonna go on the jean parts and the shoe parts. And basically, you just gotta do a few part swapping after cracking the torso, and you'll be good to go. Don't need to crack this guy since I have these shorts, but we will be putting this guy in hot water and kind of disassembling him. So we'll go from there. Can't wait to see how this turns out. All right, so here's our boiling hot water, and I've already removed the hands, the head, the armbands, the necklace. We don't need any of those accessories on him, and we're gonna go ahead and dunk John Cena into the hot water, and we'll let him sit there for about a minute, and then we'll attempt to crack this torso. I'm interested to see how this clear plastic does with a torso crack. All right, we're gonna go ahead, pull him out of the water. His waist is really tight for some reason, so got that loosened up. Everything else is loose. I'm gonna dip him in for another 30 seconds just to be sure. As we wait for him to fully heat up, this is the tool I normally use. It's from a carving tool set. It's what I normally use to crack torsos. This works, or like a flathead screwdriver. Sometimes a flathead screwdriver is your better option, but I've been using this for a while, so it's typically just the standard item I use. So let's see if John can at least start pulling some. Let's start from behind the arm. We'll get in here. It's going to be interesting to see that separate. This clear plastic. Okay, getting some separation there. Let's try to get in this other armpit. Yeah, separating pretty easy. Now, it doesn't have to be a perfect torso crack, because I am going to be putting a shirt underneath this, but we want it to be as clean as possible. So I'm not going to try to force anything. Kind of got it going up here, but I'm going to go ahead and dump them back in the water a little bit longer. Typically my process is never just one and done. I like to kind of start prying and then dunk back into the water and keep going from there. All right, let's try one more time. It's hard to see with this clear plastic, but we're definitely separated up here at the shoulder. There we go. The whole back is starting to separate there. See if we can get here. Get that separating. Gotta be careful not to eat away at the plastic there. Let's try this side. There we go. It looks like it's coming apart. There goes the arms. Let's wiggle this out. I know it's probably out of focus on camera, but here we go. There we go. A few pegs got a little broken off, but that shouldn't be a big deal when we put them back together. So now there's our top half. Now we got to get this part separated from the legs. So I'm gonna reheat my water because this part is typically the part that's glued on the most. So we're gonna reheat the water and get this part off. All right, now for this last little piece on this torso, I like to use a thicker blade from an X-Acto knife. So we have to kind of press in there to start separating it. See if we can see the seam line. There it is. Gonna work our way in there. There we go. I'll grab this tool now that we got it separated back out. Got to be careful down here not to stress the plastic at the lowest end of it. We got a little separation down there, but I'm actually gonna put it back in the water just a little bit. All right, here we go. Let's see if this be all it takes to get this last little piece separated. All right, we're separating down there. Let's flip over to this other side. And there we go. That peg probably gonna break off right there. Yep, but that's okay. Oh no, it was mostly just glue right there. All right. So we got the torso separated. Interesting that the little rubber pieces on the inside are actually clear too. So also we're gonna have to dunk the legs back into the water because we need the invisible calves. And so with these legs, we can kind of start putting things back into place. Let me put this rubber piece, clear rubber piece on there. And see if we can get this back together. There we go. May need to put this in the hot water again to get that fully pressed together. So I'm gonna dunk that in there. Let's go ahead, pull these out, get these calves. Yeah, the calves are softer rubber material, so they come off easy. And we got to pull the boots off. Not the boots, the sneakers. All right, that was pretty easy. Need to drop in the other shoes, get them nice and warmed up. And let me drop the upper torso back in there to soften that up the best I can. And let me drop the calves. The calves need to go back in the water as well. All right, there we go. That pressed right in with that extra little heat. And let's go fishing for the chest piece here. So we put that there. We have a little rubber piece that is clear that goes back in there. Get it lined up. All right, the arms. Let's see. It's kind of hard to tell which. Okay, yeah. Well, those grooved panels there can only fit a certain way with the pegs of the arms. So we got that. We got the neck joint. Put that back. Now let's go fishing out that back plate. Line up the pegs and squeeze it back together. There we go. Oh. All right. It is coming along nicely. Pretty flush, seamless back together. Let's pull out our calves. I think these are labeled. It's hard. I think that looks right. That looks like the right calf. There we go. Pull out the other one. All right, we are coming along. Now, usually these the sneakers, they usually give me fits on the regular figures. So let's see if we can get these in one try. It's difficult with the old style, like rod style peg, but sometimes we can get it. Oh, wait. Oh, that was easy. Never mind. Okay, we're looking good. One more shoe. Oh, yeah. All right. All right, let me go ahead and clear off the space, and we'll take a look at the figure like this, and then we'll take a look at the figure with some different shirt and armband options. All right, so here's Clear Cena with his jorts and his sneakers on. And I think that's pretty cool. Look now, he's kind of more like Iceman looking than Invisible, but it's still a very cool look. And torso crack ended up being pretty seamless, and I like the way that looks. You know, one thing I noticed when I was looking at these legs, for some reason this part of that knee pad is actually cast in this plastic and painted black, so the peg is actually this blue, which I think maybe helps blend in just a little bit. I mean, you can obviously see the peg blending in there, but on the other knees, like the knee pad is black, so that peg is black. But either way, I think this is a pretty this is turned out a little cooler than I even expected it to be. But now I want to see, of course, he feels a little bland, a little naked without armbands on, so we're going to go ahead and apply some armbands to him. All right, here he is with the armbands on, and I feel like that really sets off the look there, gives it a little more contrast and hides the wrist pegs a little bit with those wristbands covering them. So, hey, that's pretty cool, but the finishing touch is going to be the hat and the shirt. All right, and there he is with the shirt and hat on, completes the look. There we go. I think that worked out pretty well. You know, even if I did have some imperfections on the torso and cracking it, this is how I was going to have them with the shirt covering it. So I think that looks really well. Now, like the above and beyond thing, I think you could do. Now that I've looked at it a little longer, I think with the clear legs, I think if you took just the lower half of this knee pad and replaced that one with this clear one here, and then painted this one black and left that peg clear, it might work a little better with the calves. But I mean, I'm not complaining too much. I think this is exactly what I wanted to do with this figure, and I think that looks really cool. But I do have some other attires for, you know, a modern run John Cena, so we're gonna run through those real quick because I want people to know that you can do this fix up with any John Cena. So let's run through some other options. All right, and here he is in the John Deere green and yellow. which I believe it was the Elite 96 that he first had this, and then they re-released as a top picks. So this figure should be somewhat easy to obtain on the secondary market. So go see if that's on Mercari or eBay, and you can do this fix up yourself. But I do have a few other shirts I want to try out. And here's that Super Mario inspired gear. This was a top picks release, and this will kind of give you an idea of what an all black look for John Cena, you know, with black armbands and a black shirt, give you an idea what it looks like with this invisible look. And finally, here's the blue and orange attire that he wore in 2023 all the way up through WrestleMania 40. So that's a pretty iconic look for John Cena there, and I think that looks really cool as well. All right, so there we have it. This is the clear John Cena Invisible Super Cena fix-up. As I close this video, I just want to bring in my other John Cena customs I've recently made. I have the Elimination Chamber heel turn John Cena with a Ultimate with a new formula there, and then recently Prime John Cena with the longer jorts with the Stone Cold upper torso. If y'all are interested in how I made these, I'll put the links to those videos in the description. But I want to hear y'all's opinions and y'all's thoughts on the clear, invisible, you can't see me Super Cena. What you think about this fix-up? Is this something you're going to try to do? Is this a figure that you can't find in stores and you don't want to pay $50 online for? Because I was at the point where I was like, do I bite the bullet? But hey, just keep going to those Walmarts. Hopefully they'll start stocking up. I think every Walmart should be allotted a ton of these figures. So just keep checking your local Walmarts. Hopefully they put up that new collector display, or and hopefully it'll be at your Walmart soon. But are you going to do this yourself? Do you like the way this looks? Do you think this is kind of a dumb, gimmicky kind of thing? I want to hear all those opinions. And as always, guys, I want to thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for supporting this channel. And my way to thank y'all and to support y'all is, hey, if anything's going on in your life, you can always leave a prayer request in the comment section, because I read all the comments and I try to respond to all of them. So if you need someone to talk to, someone to pray with you, just leave it in the comments below and I'll have your back. And that's just my way to say thank you for having mine and supporting me here on YouTube by liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and all that, guys. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to make more action figure fix-ups, whether it's Marvel Legends or DC Multiverse or WWE figures. I got more in the works. Can't wait for the next one, and I'll see y'all then. Peace.